you, at what point does that become unattracted?
I mean, I don't think, at least in my book, like if she's psycho, that's one thing. But if she's just super simpy, like really into me, I like that. Mm-hmm. Like I don't really like to play games. I like you, you like me. Because it's actually pretty rare for men to get like that level of attention, you know. So like
unless they're hot.
Okay. But I would argue like average chicks get like dudes fucking falling over themselves for like an average chick, whereas like average dudes ain't ever getting a DM, ain't ever being asked out, like ever. So I'm trying to think what I wanted to bring it back to. But so I would say though that you'll have totally just as a woman, your success rate for like sliding into a DM or approaching a guy is much higher. And then even if the guy, most guys are going to be much more like, they'll still take it as a compliment. Like most guys are not going to be like, bitch, get away. Like they're not going to do that. Like most guys are at least going to be graceful in the rejection. Whereas like, I think women tend to be fairly graceful, but like they'll also like, you'll have an experience as a guy. Like girls can be fucking brutal sometimes when it comes to rejection. Not all women, not all the time, but like even though I guess it can still be scary for you, like as a woman, if you approach a guy, your success rate's going to be fucking insane. And then the guy's going to be pretty nice, I think, even in rejection. So, yeah.
I just think men should encourage more of the women to go out there. And when they do it, like, don't react that way. And I think that women, for the
react
record,
what way?
React in a like, oh, this is too much, or call them clingy, because most women, they don't do that because they are in fear of seeming clingy or needy or being too much.
Bro, most men, but like, can we just say the same thing about men? Except it's even worse for men.
Yeah.
It's even worse for men. We don't want to be seen like we don't want to be seen like we're creepy.
Okay, so let's just educate the public. Say what you want. Go after and get it. Send that double text, and then if they don't respond after 3 texts, just stop. Okay.
But you want to hear something crazy on the whole creepy thing? You can take a guy, exact same behavior, exact like verbatim, say the exact same thing, say it the same way. The only differential is one guy you're attracted to, and the other you're not. Mm-hmm. Like that's it. It could be the same exact treatment, or he said the same thing, acted the same way, and the only difference is one guy's physically attractive, the other's not.
And I think the biggest thing is stop after 3 texts. For any men or women, stop having conversations with yourselves in people's DMs or text messages.
Oh, well, I think
that's the biggest thing.
These guys who send like 10 messages never get a response.
Yes. So just don't do that.
Yeah, and
but
get really mad at you.
Like, it's okay. Let's just set the record straight. It's okay to double text, okay?
But what he was saying is just like matching effort, which is so like people generally want people that match their effort. They don't want people who go way above and beyond, because then it starts to make you question that person's status. Like, why do you have me so high on a pedestal? But they also don't want the opposite. They don't want to feel like there's lack of effort when you're still putting forward initiative. So I think what he's saying, like a good balance would be, okay, you took a girl out for 2 dates. Now it's the 3rd date. Is she going to propose something? Is she going to propose to hang out? Is she going to maybe text you after the date instead of waiting for you to text her and like thank you for the experience? Like that's like just matching the effort. That way he doesn't feel like he's just constantly putting himself out there and she's just cruising.
And what I'm saying is don't be afraid to be that person. And I think so many people are scared to be that person. That's all.
Maddie, can you read this?
Notice how none of their answers for their parents were online. We need to get back to traditional values, my friends. Get out there and meet someone face to face, not FaceTime. Statistics equals it lasts.
Yo, Kill of Cereal, thank you, man. Appreciate it.
He's a brave and a decent man. He's a pioneer.
I agree, but also I don't think the internet really existed like that. So like, that wasn't an option, you know?
Yeah. And now people are scared because
I wholeheartedly agree. Get off the internet and, you know, go face to face. You learn more about the person. There's more value in it, but also with the times, the internet just didn't exist. It wasn't an option for them.
True. Hold on, guys. Getting into some of my other notes here. Oh, we had to do the bow thing. Somebody asked about, will anybody here do a proper bow? All right. So this is something that we talked about. What do men expect? This is something that I expect from a girl. Go ahead, play the clip. Boom. Huge bow. I need, once I get home, I need a bow. Look at this. Get home, laundry. She's getting my laundry all going. Look at this. Dinner is ready. Attentive. Speed walking. Scampering. What do you call that? Scampering? I don't know. Beer. I don't really, stirring my noodles. Stirring my noodles. Hands in. One more time. Show us the bow. Whoa. Boom. Deep bow. That's what it takes, ladies. I think women should. That's what I want from a girl is a bow.
My lord.
Did you guys? Yeah, sure. My liege lord. Go ahead. Do you guys? What do you think? Do you think?
I mean, I think it should not be like forced. It should not be forced. It should be forced. But I'm saying like it should be she wants to and like she likes to. So I mean like I play with my man and I'm like, okay, sir, overlord, superior, master. And that's what I say to him. And he likes it. And he'll be like, say it one more time. And that's what I say. And so like I'm okay with that. And I volunteer that because I know that it's exciting for him. And that's not like a lot of women won't be able to put their own pride or ego aside to please their man. Mm-hmm. So I'm for that. Am I gonna bow? I don't.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I already said, submissive dominant role.
What do you think about that?
Sounds fun. Are we role playing?
She's like,
as long as you don't call me a bitch, sure, I'm good with it. If I'm a bitch, then how are you a king? Okay.
Wait, what?
My lord. If we can watch Bridgerton together, yeah, I'll bow for you.
Okay. Thoughts on the bow thing?
Not the bow, but everything else.
Not down with the bow?
Not down with the bow, unless it makes sense for her culture.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Morgan?
Yeah, I don't know. I think at some point it gets too much.
Too much? What do you mean?
Like it seems like you're just a child. Like, why am I doing everything for you? You can't pick up your own clothes? I don't know.
Well, you see in that video clip anyways, this is a high-powered person with a dating podcast. He goes home to his penthouse apartment and his girlfriend has she just kicks it at the penthouse while he's out working. He's taking care of all the bills.
I'd love to kick it.
Yeah, I agree if he's paying for all the bills, but what if it's like it could be the other way too?
I could do some role playing.
I would be fine with being like making the money for the household and him being at the house.
Right. Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah. Sure. Well, let me ask. Okay, so outside of this context, though, the actual physical act of the bow, what are your thoughts there?
No.
Not cool.
I don't know.
Do you think like what do you appreciate if a guy opens the car door for you?
Yeah.
On a date?
Yeah.
Does that kind of stuff? Okay. Do you want to get married one day?
Yeah.
Do you want the guy to propose to you?
Yeah.
Do you want him to get down on one knee?
Yeah.
Like a little bitch?
Yeah,
But I mean, it's like it's crazy. Y'all want a guy to like kneel before you. You're standing there. He gets down. He's looking up at you with little puppy dog eyes. Oh, sweetheart, I love you so much. Hold on, let me get the fuck.
And you know how many times you get on your knees for him after that? So let's be real.
Are you talking about blowjays?
Yeah.
You're talking about blowjays?
Blowjays. All the blowjays.
How do you feel about a woman proposing to you?
Well, I don't want to get married. Unless she's rich.
That's why you have this podcast.
I'll only get married. I will only marry a woman if she's makes more money than me. And she has to be like a billionaire or some shit. I'll accept a millionaire. Like a couple zeros.
And she still has to propose to you. If she's a millionaire, billionaire, you're only marrying if she proposed to you.
That's the only scenario I would get married. But okay, so this is what you want, Morgan. You want a guy, Mary Gertrude Spurlock. That's not your actual last name. My dear, will you marry me?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Oh wow. Okay. All right. Okay, I guess we're married now, but or engaged. But
congratulations.
it's crazy. Okay, what about you? The bow? You down for the bow or no?
No, he'll get a kiss, he'll get a hug, but I'm not. I'm not bowing. It just, I don't know. That seems kind of cultural as well. So,
am I culturally appropriating right now?
No, that's not what I meant. But no, he'll get a kiss, he'll get a hug.
Right, but okay. Let's just assume I'm culturally appropriating, and I'm just.
And how would you be culturally appropriating? So I don't even understand that. Do you think that bows were not done in the West?
Well, I mean, I think she's trying to say it's like kind of more common in like Asian cultures. Right. It's pretty rare for like in Western countries.
And the reason they bow is because when you hug someone, you can stab them in the back, but when you bow, you can't. Like that's where it originated from.
Really,
but that's how it started. That's how it started.
These chicks be carrying katanas and shit. You know, I'm worried. Wait, so you wouldn't? No, 100% no, wouldn't.
Maybe like in a playful manner.
No.
But, okay.
Sure, fine, playful.
Yeah.
But every time you.
Then that's not playful anymore. That's. Well, I guess it could be.
Damn,
but
that's crazy. I know it's uncommon.
Would you bow for the right man?
Yes.
If the right man, he was Mr. Right.
Yeah.
Would you bow for him?
Yes, in a playful manner, yes, not in a disrespectful
No, but he wanted it as a
way.
sign of respect. He just thought it was very respectful if you bowed to him.
Oh.
Being submissive, you know.
No.
No.
They bow to each other.
Huh?
Like,
no,
no. She bow first.
No. I don't bow. I don't bow.
His phone didn't go down.
I don't bow. I don't bow. She bows.
A bow. I can't stop.
What about you? What do you think? Would you do the bow?
Yeah, I would. For the right man.
But you wouldn't if
for the right man, right?
Yeah.
For the right man, yeah.
Maddie, have you tested out the bow yet?
Yeah.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Well, he watches the show.
Yeah.
I guess, or I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's just like crazy to me because I feel like it's such a small ask. Like you don't got to spend any money. It's like not physically laborious. You just boom, dink, dink. You know.
What does it do for you?
It's like it's a submissiveness test.
Superiority.
No, it's not about superiority.
What if she curtsied? It's like the Western equivalent.
I think it's kind of cringy. I prefer bow. I feel like a curtsy is just it's not cringy.
If she's wearing a skirt, she might
It's more formal, not submissive.
It's not what I want. But I don't know. It's crazy because like we'll ask like in addition to the bow, it's just like you were talking earlier like that guy asked you to do his laundry, right, on the first date, and you're like that's weird, right? Right? That happened, right?
And they did the laundry though.
And still did.
But you were upset. You were upset about the laundry. Like you wouldn't.
Because that doesn't seem like a very first date thing for me.
But check this out, right? Check this out, right? So here's what's crazy to me. When it comes to the bow or like cooking a man a meal or doing his laundry, you guys will object to that, but you'll fuck a guy the first night.
Interesting.
Like you will let a guy. I could get into detail. You know what I mean? Like a girl could let a guy. Bust a nut on her face. That's why I'm just saying.
I was like, let's get it.
That could happen. It could happen on a first date. A girl requested that once from me. It could happen on a first date. A first date, yeah.
She a freak.
I guess.
Don't yuck someone's yum.
Yeah, that's second date stuff.
She's a freak.
But it's like, hold on. You'll let a guy hit.
Girl.
You'll let a guy hit.
Yeah.
But like literally doing, like you'll be.
It's
I don't
like
want to be
mutual
vulgar, but
to.
you'll like literally choke on his pee-pee.
On his pee-pee.
But you won't bow for him.
First date, but you won't bow. You won't. What's that? You had experience?
I've never heard you say that. I just
choke on the pee-pee?
Yeah.
And he repeated it.
Anyways, but laundry, just folding his laundry, not very difficult, cooking a meal, whatever. Doing a simple bow. Like, no, I won't do that.
I didn't say
but
no.
you can be inside of me, son? That's crazy, bro.
Because
You can penetrate me with your penis. But I won't do a little... Watch this. Boom, that's it. You won't do that?
I didn't say no. I said yes.
You know what I mean?
But also,
but can we agree it depends on
mutual.
the woman too? Like some women don't. Like there is, believe it or not, there's women who don't fuck or kiss on the first or second or third or even fifth date. There's still some old school tradition values in some women.
Well,
Yeah,
why
sure,
won't those women bow then?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like
Those women
like
probably
normal.
the
That's
women
not
did bow.
I guess the point
if they
I'm
were
trying to make-
asked to.
I guess
Yeah,
the point
they were
I'm trying to make is the same woman that says, not again. Yes, there are women who won't fuck on the first date. They'll fuck on the second. But anyways, so they'll be fine with having a man inside of them, but they draw the line at a bow. I don't get it. Right, Morgan?
It could be that there's mutual beneficial and pleasure in penetration, but she might not find benefit in a bow or pleasure in a bow. If she's not a submissive person, she doesn't want to bow for you. But
thinks
if
it's
you
labor.
penetrate her, there's benefit and pleasure there.
Maybe-
I don't know.
For
I'm just
her.
playing devil's advocate.
Maybe
What if
for
there's a
her.
What if there's a condom? Honestly, if there's a condom involved, I'm doing her a favor. With the
why
sex.
do you not first?
I mean, with the sex. Like, it's just like I'd rather just not. I know this is gonna sound crazy. I've already mentioned this previous shows. I'd rather just not even have sex.
Have you ever seen the meme of like
sex.
it's like Kermit the Frog and he's like by the window and the window's like wet
Raining.
and it's like
Yes.
raining.
That's why they call it window pane.
Can we find that, Nick?
Maybe
it's like when it's wet but you can't feel it because you have a
What
condom
the
on.
fuck?
maybe
never
in that
seen that
kind
meme?
of woman where like
It's
she
so
won't want to
funny.
bow down, but she'll let you like nut inside her, or whatever.
Yeah, that-
is maybe
That.
because she's like maybe really into that masculine side of her, and maybe she has like this wall built up that she doesn't feel comfortable or willing to go into that feminine side of like submissive side.
It
Maybe
sounds like
that's
she's
why.
taking the nut instead of receiving.
Exactly. She's a nut taker.
That's a good way. That's a good way to look at it. That's
She's
a
a
good way.
nut taker. Give me that nut.
You got it? Is it the Kermit? Yeah. Whoa. It's facts. It's facts. It's facts. Damn. Hold on. Wait. Keep it up for a sec. Keep it up.
It's so funny. It's my
Word. Anyways, where were we? Let's get to. We got Elsa here. Elsa, you said that you did have a disagreement, Elsa. You said you're not a huge fan of oversimplification and inflammatory language. Is this directed at me or Andrew or both?
Honestly, neither. I've only seen
okay.
very short clips of the show.
Okay, so this.
But in general, not a fan of oversimplification.
Well, was there like a specific clip or something you saw? Was it something Maddie said? Maddie's got some hot takes. She's been canceled multiple times.
Yeah, I actually
Just
have-
kidding. She's.
I got haters.
Actually, I was told that Adrian was like, my friend Adrian, who was on the show, she was like, Maddie's super cool. Look for Maddie. So,
You ain't lit if you
no,
ain't got no
I learned about
Can
you
you scoot
today.
your mic that way and tilt
To
it
the
down?
left. Tilt it to the left.
No,
this.
like push it
Over here.
Okay.
There you go.
and then tilt it down a little bit, but go ahead.
No,
So
not
on the,
directed at Maddie. Is this better?
On the oversimplification front, earlier
Wait.
when we were talking in generalities, isn't that oversimplification?
Definitely. Yeah, we both got into that.
Yeah,
both
but I
got
mean,
into
what's
generalizing.
What's wrong with an here's an oversimplification. Men generally prefer to date men or women prefer generally to date men who are taller than them. That's an oversimplification, right? That's true.
My challenge with oversimplification is it makes for great clickbait, but when you actually work with real people, those aren't usually the situations that occur. Like, of course, in general, most women would prefer to date someone who makes more money than them. In general, most men would prefer to date someone who's younger because she's probably more attractive. But those oversimplifications don't hold true when you actually apply theory to practice. So I've actually, because I've worked with so many men over the years, those aren't the situations that I see. Normally people date more or less people who are in their vicinity, who are usually a similar age range, similar socioeconomic status. So that's my problem with it, but I do think that it makes for a more spicy and interesting conversation.
Really? So even on the micro, the men that you're working with, you don't tell them that women prefer taller men?
Well, not if they're not. No, women do prefer that, but a taller man is relative. An average woman is 5'2", so a taller man for an average woman.
It's not relative. It would be anything taller than 5'2", right? Anything taller than her wouldn't be relative. So if she was 4'9",
what I mean is that I'm 5'7", and for me, a taller man is technically a man who's 6 feet. Although historically, I've dated
a taller man would be somebody who's
5'8" or 5'8", whatever. Most of the guys I've dated are my height, but where was I going with this?
But you would prefer a man who was taller, right?
Honestly, before I moved to the States, I did not even know this was a thing because I didn't grow up here. So in Lebanon, where I'm from, men are not tall. The average man is a little bit shorter than I am. So that wasn't really an option. So I didn't really see it as a preference. It was after I moved here.
The average Lebanese woman is much smaller than the average Lebanese man.
True. So, but when I moved here and I realized that was like a collective preference, that's when I started to notice that people even really cared about that. I think from my work, what I've seen is that women want a man they can feel safe with, but he doesn't have to be bigger than her in height. He can be bigger than her horizontally in stature.
I know, but I get it that on the micro you can do all sorts of self-improvement as a man who is shorter. You can get buffer and what they call looks maxing, all that. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't change the fact that most women are still going to prefer if he's taller than her.
If they had the option, definitely yes.
Yeah,
if all things are
that seems like an oversimplification. That's just also true.
Well, the rest of that sentence was oversimplification and inflammatory language. So an oversimplification in and of itself might not be a problem, but when it's married to inflammatory language, it can be.
Wait,
but I'm not. But at the same time, when I first started my TikTok, I believe the reason why I went viral so often is because I was extremely inflammatory. I was just extremely condescending, and I had a lot of hot takes on a lot of hot topics, and it was fun because I was relevant. Now that I'm a little more nuanced, my engagement has definitely gone down because nuance is boring for a lot of people. It's not as
Why can't you be inflammatory with nuance?
I mean, how would you do that? Give me an example.
Of a nuanced take, which is also something which is inflammatory?
Like what?
What's an example? Let's say you say, well, it can be situational whether age gaps are appropriate or not, but you think that they're perfectly acceptable, right? So that's a nuanced take, but at the same time, it's inflammatory.
That doesn't sound inflammatory to me, unless I missed something.
How is it not? It's one of the things most argued about that I've seen in these dating spaces, whether or not age gaps are appropriate or not appropriate. You can have the nuanced take of, I think situationally they can be, but generally I'm against them, and here's why. It can definitely be inflammatory with a nuanced take.
Well, we might just have a different definition, because I actually think that's a nuanced. I think that's a nuanced take.
Yeah, it's nuanced, but also inflammatory. You're still saying the same thing, right? You're still saying, no, I think age gaps are fine.
But the way you're saying it,
kind of a nuanced reasoning for that, right?
But the way you're saying it is nuanced. So it's kind of like when you said.
I get it.
Earlier
I get
you
it,
said.
But I'm saying it's still inflammatory, right?
Earlier you said older men would prefer a younger woman because she's attractive, and that to me is not an example of inflammatory language, because I actually agree.
Well, I think what would be inflammatory then? How would you make that inflammatory?
It's a good question. Probably by saying something like women over 35 are completely doomed, so they should probably just go give up. That to me would be inflammatory. Because it lacks nuance. I mean, the nuanced statement.
That's just kind of lying, though, right?
But those are the kind of clips that get a lot of traction. Is like the 35-year-old woman is screwed. She's got no chance. I think the nuanced take is the younger woman probably has a lot more options of men for sure. But the non-nuance is just let's just write off every woman over 30. Because
well, I mean, why not? I mean, you're just talking about clickbait, though, really.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you can still have the clickbait and then still give the nuanced take, can't you?
Isn't
that what almost everybody does? They have the clickbaity title thumbnail, and then they give the nuanced take after you click on it.
The clickbaity hook, yes.
Yeah. It seems like you could do that.
Can you? So, I mean, just going back to your thing here, you said not a huge fan of oversimplification and inflammatory language. Was there an example that you wanted to talk on, or that you saw?
There probably was, but I don't. It might not even been from you guys. It might have been from like one of the women on the show. I honestly can't remember because this was probably like this was a while back.
Okay.
No, can't remember. But it's not necessarily like you as the host. I was just, the dynamic of the conversation. That's probably something I was referring to.
Okay. Let's see. Going over then to, is it Andrea or Andrea?
It's Andrea.
Andrea. Okay. You said that. So you are currently single, if I recall. Okay. You said you're waiting until, or you either are or you wanted to talk about waiting until marriage. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. I am definitely waiting. I'm pro waiting till marriage.
You're pro. So are you that, and that's what you're doing?
Yes.
Are you religious?
I am.
Christian?
Christian.
What denomination?
Oh, I wouldn't be too specific on that. I'm just Christian. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay. Do you go to church?
I do.
What is the denomination of the church you go to?
I'm actually not sure.
Is it non-denominational?
Is it
truly
St.
not
Baptist
sure.
by chance?
Sorry?
You go to St. Baptist Church?
St. Baptist?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just checking.
No.
Okay, so you said you said you experienced a lot of jealousy and possessiveness from men. Is that related to the waiting until marriage thing, or is that a different topic?
No, I would say I've just been on a lot of dates, and men are very possessive, jealous, and it could be, I don't know, but that is why I'm waiting till marriage, because
they're possessive and jealous?
Yeah. I wouldn't, I would tell men like, oh, I want this for my future, and sometimes they don't agree, but they're still very like clingy and possessive, and
okay.
Yeah.
So let's bring it back to the whole waiting until marriage thing. So are you a virgin?
No.
Okay. But so how recently did you, I guess, change up to wanting to wait till marriage?
Well, I did have this long-term relationship where, yes, we did have, I wasn't
carnal knowledge.
What?
Carnal knowledge. You had sex.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know how to phrase that, but so that did, and that was, not the best experience for me. So that's why I was like, okay, well, my next relationship, I definitely want to keep it. Yeah.
Well, it was the 1 year relationship? You said your longest relationship, unless I fucked my notes up here, you're 3 years?
3 years, about 3 years.
Oh, sorry, I got 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm just curious, very quickly, if I can interject. I just had one quick question. Brian, can you by chance pull up Ephesians 5:22?
Nick, can you pull up Ephesians
5:22. Well, the reason is I didn't realize that you were a Christian earlier in the panel, but I can just read it to you. It says, "Wives, submit to your husband as to the Lord." Do you bow to the Lord?
Do I bow to the Lord?
Yeah.
Of course.
Is it a sign of submission to bow to the Lord?
Yes.
Are you supposed to submit to your husband as you do unto the Lord?
Yes, I guess.
So then, hang on. So then we have established that you should do what with your husband?
I should bow, I guess.
Oh, we should bow. Okay, so we've got
right.
it, right? So the bow is happening, right? We are going to do the bow?
If it's in a godly marriage, then of course, that's very different.
Okay, then we're going to bow. All right.
Oh, you have to be married before you give the bow.
Yes.
Is that fair, Andrew? Marriage has to come before the bow?
Yeah, I mean, it depends, right? I would say, yeah, probably. I would still wait for the mirror, but I don't see anything wrong with showing